You don't need to improve your life. You need to destroy the version of you that's living it, not upgrade it, not optimize it, not add better habits on top of the same broken foundation. Destroy it, because everything the self-help industry has been selling you, the morning routines, the mindset shifts, the 5 steps to a better you, is built on a lie so comfortable, so profitable, that nobody wants to name it out loud. The lie is this, that you are fixable. You are not broken in a way that can be repaired. You are built wrong, built by years of other people's fear, other people's opinions, other people's definitions of who you are and what you deserve. And you cannot renovate a structure built on someone else's blueprint. You can only tear it down and build something that is actually yours. That process is not called self-improvement. It is called self-destruction. And it is the only transformation that actually lasts. Here is something nobody wants to say to your face. You are predictable. The people around you can finish your sentences. They know exactly how you'll react when you're criticized, whether you'll go quiet or get defensive or laugh it off. They know what you'll order. They know what excuse is coming before you give it. They have a mental model of you so accurate, so reliable, that they don't need to think about you anymore. They just run the model. And through that model, they control you. Not with force, not with threats, just with knowledge of your patterns. Push this button, get this reaction. Offer this kind of attention. Watch them soften. Apply this pressure, watch them fold. You have been, for most of your life, a machine. Consistent, programmable, and completely manageable by anyone patient enough to learn your settings. This is not an insult. It is a diagnosis, because you cannot fix what you refuse to see. Society does not control people with cages. It controls them with identity. It hands you a label early, the quiet one, the reliable one, the funny one, the difficult one, and you spend the rest of your life performing that label so consistently that you forget it was ever assigned. You think it is who you are. You defend it. You organize your entire life around proving it true. You are your own cage. You built it. You maintain it. And every morning you walk back inside it and call it comfort. Real change does not feel like growth. Let's be completely honest about that. It feels like something dying. Not the motivational kind of transformation where you wake up inspired and post about your journey. The kind where you go quiet in a way that frightens the people around you. The kind where you look at who you've been, the patterns, the reactions, the small surrenders you made over years until surrender became your default setting, and feel something cold and final. Not grief, not guilt. Something more like the detached clarity of someone examining a tool that has consistently failed and deciding without drama to replace it. You don't negotiate with weakness. You don't sit down with your limitations and try to understand their feelings. You identify them, you cut the supply line, and you build something in their place that doesn't need the same crutches. Most people never do this, because the gap between who they are and who they could be is not a gap they lack the talent to cross. It is a gap they lack the tolerance to cross. The new self is uncomfortable. It doesn't fit yet. The old patterns surface automatically, and you have to override them in real time, in the middle of moments, with no guarantee it's going to work. Most people hit that discomfort and go back. They go back because the old self, however limiting, is familiar. And the human brain will choose familiar pain over unfamiliar freedom almost every time. The ones who don't go back, those are the ones who become uncontrollable. You are living according to a script you never wrote. Think about your beliefs, the ones about what you deserve, what's possible, how much you're allowed to want. Where did they come from? Your parents handed them to you the way they handed you a surname, without asking if you wanted them. Your early failures taught you things about yourself that felt like facts, but were just interpretations made by a younger version of you in a moment of pain and never questioned again. Your script is not your identity. It is the story someone else started and you agreed to keep telling. And here is the part that makes it truly dangerous. You will defend it. You will argue passionately for your own limitations. You will explain in great detail why real change is harder for you specifically, why your circumstances are uniquely difficult, why your version of playing small actually makes sense given everything. You will be the most eloquent, most convincing lawyer your prison has ever had. Breaking the script doesn't happen by analyzing it. The mind that built the prison cannot be trusted to unlock it. Breaking the script happens through action taken before the mind has time to talk you out of it. Before the excuses get dressed up as wisdom. Before the familiar darkness convinces you it is safety. Move before you're ready. That gap between the impulse towards something new and the moment your old programming kicks in to stop it, your entire future lives in that gap. It is measured in seconds. What you do in those seconds consistently, over time, is either the construction of a new identity or the reinforcement of the old one. Stop needing approval? Completely. Not partially, completely. Watch how people move through the world, and you will see it running everything. The way someone reshapes their opinion mid-sentence when they sense disagreement in the room. The way goals get abandoned not because they became impossible, but because someone important seemed unimpressed. The way people dress, speak, button, constantly, exhaustingly calibrated to manage what other people think. Every time you change yourself to earn someone's approval, you hand them a lever. Every time you shrink to avoid disapproval, you give them control. Every time you make a decision based on how it will look instead of who it will make you, you are operating from a dependency so complete that no amount of external success will ever feel like enough. Here is what most people never understand about approval. When someone approves of you, nothing real has been added. When someone disapproves, nothing real has been taken. You remain what you are, independent of the verdict. The moment you genuinely need nothing from the people around you, no validation, no confirmation, no sign that you're on the right track, the quality of every decision you make changes completely. There is something in a person who has stopped seeking approval that is deeply, almost involuntarily compelling. We are drawn to it because it is rare. Because most people are performing constantly, and we have become so accustomed to the performance that someone who isn't performing registers as something different. Something real. Need nothing. Become dangerous. Stop announcing yourself. Every goal you broadcast is a goal that has already been partially rewarded in your imagination before you've done anything. You share the plan. People respond. Your brain receives a signal of social approval and releases the same chemistry it would release if you had actually achieved something. Except you haven't. You've just talked. And now the pressure driving you toward the goal, the productive tension between who you are and who you're becoming, has been slightly released. Not completely, just enough to make the next action slightly less urgent. The loudest people in any room are almost never the most powerful ones. The people who talk most about what they're building are usually building the least. Move in silence. Not as a performance of mystery, that is still ego, just inverted. Move in silence because silence means you are spending your energy on the work instead of the announcement of the work. Because the only proof of transformation that actually matters is not what you say is happening. It is what becomes undeniable to anyone watching. Let reality speak. It is a far more persuasive argument than anything your voice could make. The most significant growth of your life will happen when nobody is watching. Not in the accountability check-ins or the public commitments or the posts about the journey. In the quiet, unseeable hours where you do the work even though nobody will ever know whether you did it or not. Where the only thing keeping you going is pressure from inside, not from an audience, not from a deadline, not from the fear of looking bad. That is where identity actually changes. Not in the performance of transformation, but in the private, relentless practice of it. Go somewhere in your own mind that nobody else has access to. Build something there. Stay with it long enough that it becomes real. Let the result be the announcement. And learn to control what you give away. Your face is information. Your reaction is information. Every visible flinch, every flash of pleasure or hurt or uncertainty that passes across you is data that the world uses to understand how to affect you. The people who carry genuine power in any room share one quality that is consistent and unmistakable. They are hard to read. The reaction you expected either doesn't come or comes differently. There is a quality of containment in them, a sense that what is happening inside is not automatically available to whatever happens to be watching. That is not a personality trait. It is a practice. Build the gap between what you feel and what you show. Widen it deliberately. Become legible only to those who have earned that access. Unpredictability is not chaos. It is sovereignty. Here is where this ends. And where you begin. The version of you that started this already knows what needs to happen. That's not an encouraging guess. It is the uncomfortable truth. You know you've been running a script that isn't yours. You know some version of who you perform daily is not who you actually are. You know the improvement you've been attempting has been happening at the surface level while the root structure sits untouched underneath. You know, the question was never about information. It was always about willingness. The new self is not comfortable. The silence is not comfortable. The period between burning the old identity and the new one solidifying, that void where you no longer know exactly who you are, is deeply, viscerally uncomfortable. Most people will not tolerate it. They will return to the familiar limitation, to the predictable pattern, to the cage they know how to navigate. They will make peace with the ceiling and call that peace wisdom. And they will spend their lives manageable, readable, controllable, producing results that were always possible for them but never quite the ones they actually wanted. You are at a decision point right now. Not the dramatic kind, the quiet kind. The kind that happens in the few seconds after something lands, and something landed here somewhere in the last few minutes, or you would have already moved on. The old version of you has had its time. It kept you safe when safety was what you needed. It served its purpose, but it has taken you exactly as far as it is capable of taking you, and that distance falls short of where you are actually trying to go. Something else needs to exist now. The demolition starts in silence. No announcement, no declaration. Just a quiet, final decision that the person you were is no longer the person making choices. Go build what comes next.